Uh, Hello, good evening, class. So let us start the today's topic, that is file handling in the Java. Okay, so I already uploaded all the respective video here. That is introduction to GUI Swing, and this session 16 video uploaded yesterday, and some other videos are also available on your Google Classroom, so you can see those videos, okay, along with the notes. And I'm going to upload the Java mm, tutorials here. So these are the tutorials. I complete tutorial up to 10, so I have to upload the rest of the tutorial here, so I'm going to do that right now. Editing this and adding a tutorial from 11 onwards to 20. Okay, so let me check. There are Java tutorial uh, 2 also. We are not yet create Java tutorial 2. Um, okay, so 20 files I can upload, not more than that. And after the remaining file, I will put inside the Java tutorials 2 here. Okay. So let me check the remaining file here. And so editing again and adding the file from tutorial 11 to 20. So there is a MSME folder and second batch, and this is tutorial second batch and source. And under my pack, I have created the tutorial from 11 to 20. Okay, and upload that, and from 21 onwards I will shift to the next tutorial, because I can't upload more than 20 here. Okay, so let me check. So these are the 20 tutorials we will get here, plus I'm going to add one more material, saving it here, adding one more material, that is under Java tutorial 2. So Java tutorial 2 here. I'm creating material, and that is Java tutorial 2. Okay. And I'm adding a file from 21 onwards. So I'm going to add 21 to 28. Okay. So other 8 files plus the file which is required, that is another class circle employee. I'm my interface line. Okay, and my frame uh, person rectangle shape other files. Okay, and so I uploaded all total number of files here. The bin file, that GUI file, I'm going to upload in tutorial number 3. Okay, so let us check what is left. Mm, my frame, I uploaded everything. Some rectangle shape student. I have to check file. In Google Classroom. So circle employee, I my manager, my class, person, rectangle shape. Okay, student is not yet added. Person, rectangle shape. Okay. I have to add the file my frame person rectangle shape student. Okay, and my classes manager. So if it's double, then yeah. So you can attach 20 files or less plus 5. So total, okay, so total number of files I have to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So all 20 files are already added here. So I want to create another material that is Java. Yeah, here. Okay, and I'm going to post this under Java tutorials. I'm adding some more file that is from here to add all this file again. You check from your side. Okay, so I'm posting it. And Java tutorial 2 also I'm going to post here, just dragging it inside the Java tutorial. Okay, so this is Java tutorial 1, 2, and 3. So it is in draft mode. I have to edit and post it here. So it get available to you. Okay, so there are Java tutorial 1, 2, 3, everything I have uploaded here. And there is a Java tutorial 4, and especially the GUI base, and that I'm going to suite. Okay, tutorial. So I'm creating separately. So under Java tutorial only, and I'm adding the file folder here, and that is GUI folder here. And these are the file total. But tutorial 4 and 5 is not yet uh, updated, so it's going to update here, and after that I'm going to upload this. Okay, so 4 and 5 is not yet completed, so it's going to complete today, and 5 is going to complete tomorrow. So today we are going to see the file handling in Java here. Okay, so if you see the what is file handling in Java. So what you learn in last session, that whenever you create the information, you are going to save that information in either in database or in a file. Otherwise, it will only available in the inside the memory variable, and the memory variable contents are vanish when you are uh, closing the application, and when the application is get closed, the contents are vanished because memory variables are temporarily storing the information. So whenever you store the information permanently, you either need a file or you need a database. Yeah. Okay, so database is comparatively secure, file is not secure, and that's why people are using a database. But previously people are storing the information in a file. Okay, before a database coming into the picture, so people are still doing this kind of what the practice, and they create CSV file, and they send those file across a database, and database can import those comma separated variable file. So I'm going to show you how to do that. and how you can save the file here. So before that, you have to know the file handling. What is the file handling and what different kind of packages provided by Java. So basically, when you learn any programming language, every time the information are stored in the form of a character or bytes. Okay, so whatever the information, either it is coming from the keyboard or the information is coming from 1 minute. हेलो ए ए दरवाजा बंद करा. So when you see the information which is stored inside the file, that is always in a bytes or in a I can say character. Okay, so those, there are two kind of what the stream is. One is byte stream and another is character stream. So bytes means, one byte equal to 8 bits. So we already learned in data representation system. In when we are talking about data type at that time, we refer those video that how 1 byte equal to 8 bit. All explanation I already explained in that video. So byte stream are there are two kind of streaming classes every programming language have. So you already familiar with the C++, you already use the iStream class, okay, and OStream class. And that is the reason you are including iostream.h header file, because you are going to use the object called as a cout and in C++. Same kind of who are responsible for handling the output object and cin handling input objects. So cin and cout are the objects. They are not a command. They are objects and they are singleton object. What do you mean by singleton object? Singleton object means you can create a duplicate of what that object. Okay, it is the only single object available and you can use those objects. And these are the objects of as output stream and input stream respectively when we are using cout and cin. Same is available inside Java also when you are choosing system dot out. So out is an object and we are using a method called as a println here. Okay, so actually println is a output streaming object. So whatever you are passing inside in double quotes in println that is reside at the stream output stream, and from there it will display on the respective output uh, I can say device like a monitor or printer. Okay, so you can see this. Basically, C also using such kind of what the streaming functions. C is not using class because C don't have a class. So C having a standard input output functionality like printf and scanf. Okay, and that's why we are using standard HTD input I and output O. Means stdio.h we always included in a header file. So whenever you are using printf and scanf. So what I'm trying to tell you that the file handling and stream handling is already known to you if you already knowing C language and C++ language. And if you are new to a programming language and you are going to learn first time, so you understand that the stream English meaning or dictionary meaning of stream is a flow. So I can say a flow of water is called as a stream. So here we are saying that the flow of characters is called as a stream here. So if you see, so there are flow of characters. So whenever you are entering the information from the keyboard, so it resides at iStream because you are taking the input here. Okay, so if you are using a keyboard and in that keyboard the keyboard the key is sending one of the n number of keys are pressing by the user, and they are sending the characters. Okay, and those characters are resides at I can say the memory here. Okay, and then from there it's going one after another, and they form a stream in a memory here. So I'm just showing these characters are forming a stream in the memory here. Okay, and they are resides at the I can say in iStream here. Okay, so the information goes from the keyboard. Okay, and it is character by character the information goes. Okay, and you are sending one after another character, and they are in what order they are using the same order they are resides one after another. So if I'm typing A, B, C and D here. Okay, the in memory also it is reside in this form here. So when I'm choosing A, B, C, and D here. Okay. So it's forming a stream, and then it is resides in a memory. So this is my primary memory here, and which has the I can say which has two area, and one is what the input stream. Okay, and there is another area called as a output stream here. So input stream information is handled by the object called as an input object, and output stream information is handled by the output object here. Okay, so remember, whenever you are taking an input, it is always input is available inside the memory, and the output is also available inside the memory. And then it will resides, it will send across the output. I can say it sends across the output devices. Okay, so when it is showing to the output devices like a printer or a TV here, okay, or a monitor here. So all those information are available, okay, and sent across the output devices, and it will get print. So there is someone always who are taking care of what those objects and those contents, and those contents are taken care by the output stream object. So in C++, we are using object called as a cout here. Okay, and whenever the information which is coming from the keyboard, so cin is an object who are sending. So there is a redirection operator. If you see double extraction operators, two greater than sign. So I think I am calling this as a gate from, and here this is called as a put to. Okay, so it is putting to towards some output window here. Okay, and same kind of thing are available in Java. So if you are looking for a Java technology here, so in this Java also you are using in object, and here you are using if you are choosing a Java, then you are using something called as out object here. And there is a the system, and system has system dot in and system dot out. So in our scanner object we are using the system in whenever we take the object here, and we are saying we want an input object, so I can create the input object by choosing system dot in here. Okay, so in future we are going to provide a file as an input. So you can use a scanner object and taking a input from a file. It is not always, input is not always in a form of a keyboard. Okay, so you can take inputs from a file also. So all contents are get uh, available in a uh, uh, in a form of file. So suppose this is file, and that file has n number of characters here. Okay, and this content you want to take as an input, so you are allowed to use this content. So this is my file. Okay, and in this file I am showing that I want to choose the file here as an input here. So I can take this file as an input, and it is from hard drive. So this is your hard drive, suppose, okay, or hard disk you can call. In that hard disk, you are storing some file, and that file is loaded in PushStream here. So you can load this file inside the input stream by using some object. So there are every Java programming or every other programming language are actually uh, using a respective object here. So if I'm choosing this, so there is a object who are taking care of what the file, then there is a file object who are taking care of what the characters, then there is a different kind of what the objects are available here. Similarly, you can generate, instead of showing the output uh, on a screen, you can write the output inside the file here. Okay, and so reading and writing are actually we are choosing right now. So whenever we are write something, so the and that means you are using output. So output is always right, rather input is always read here. So there is a write functions available here, and you can write the information inside the file, whatever the inputs you are taking and you want to write in a file. You can take the input from the user and you can write inside the file. You can read through memory variable to your respective output devices here. Okay, so here the writing is taking place, and when you are taking the file as an input, at that time you are reading the contents. So read and write are the functionality are available here, and we are going to see those functions which is frequently used inside the Java. Okay, so let us understand what are the functions are used. So if you look at byte stream, also has input stream classes, output stream classes, and character streams are reader classes and the writer classes. So whenever you are handling character, then you are going to choose reader and writer classes here. Okay, so if you see the Java class method, so you can see the four operations on a file, that you can create a file here, you get a file information and you write a file. Okay, and you read from a file and you can delete from a file. So I'm going to show you a simple part, and then I'm using this inside my uh, the this GUI part, and I'm entering a value here, roll number 1 and some age and some name and some percentage, and whatever I am clicking on here, when I click on save, so data is get saved inside some file. Okay, that I'm going to show you. Before that, we are going to see the simple class where we are understanding the creating of what file. Okay, so I'm choosing a tutorial number 4A. Okay, and here we are going to understand how to create a file. So to understand uh, the creation of a file. Okay, so whenever you are creating any kind of content file, so it is automatically publish static void and string arguments. So you are going to use a functions for creating a file. So there are n number of functions are there where you can create a file directly. There is an option called as a file. And so there is a class available, file class, and you can give any name to what the file name, and say when you see a constructor here, you are supposed to write a file name. So I'm creating a simple txt file. So file is get created, and I'm choosing IO file package here. So there is a Java IO file package. So if you look for Java IO library here, and if you are looking for Java IO in Java document, you can directly check the IO file in Java document here. So I'm just writing here and say show Java doc here. So it's going to open my browser and show the information of Java. So it's a class file, and it belongs to IO part, and you can see the n number of what the constructor here. So there are a constructor where you can writing a file name, and directly you can write a path including a file name, and you can directly write uniform resource indicator called as a URI. Okay, and you can create. So these are the methods: can execute, can read, can write. Okay, and these are methods, or you can directly create using a method called as a create new file. But when the constructor is saying that the file is get created, so file is created here once you run this. Okay, so let us see the build successfully, and you want to see whether the file is created or not. So you can see this is a file which name is data.txt. I have not yet created, so I'm just deleting it, the previous file. So I have not yet used and something I have not yet write, and that's why the file is not created. It's only giving a file name. So I want to choose a file created okay method, and there is a create new file method available. So I'm choosing a file name, and then there is a method called as a create new file. So it's going to this method is going to responsible for creating a file, but saying that you should write IO exception here. What if the file is having some error, then it will throw the IO exception. So I'm choosing this throw IO exception to main part. So it won't allow me to, now it's not throwing any exception, but it's going to create a file, empty file. So if you look at that, data.txt is created inside the file, and it don't have any kind of what the data here. So we learn how to create a file. So we are not going to understand only creating a file. We are going to run to how to write uh, the data inside a file. Okay. So I'm going to write some data inside the file. It's because my data.txt file is get created. So in that case, when you are creating a file, then there is a create new file part here. So now you want to see the information of the file. So there is a file information function available, and it will check the you can check the name, you can check the absolute path. Okay, you can check the file is writable or not, or readable or not. So all kind of, and even though you can change the length of what the file. So these are the property you can use along with the file name. So if you look at n number of properties have along with the file name. So these are the can read, can write. Okay, you can delete the file. Okay, and you can check whether file is exist or not. So if it is exist, then it will say that file is already exist. Otherwise, it will create a new file. I already have a file, and I want to check the existence of file. And uh, here is if it is true, if the file exists is true here, then I print a message system.out.println file is already existed. Okay, and because I already created a file, otherwise it will create a new file. So I'm choosing file is newly created here, system.out.println, and file is newly created. So let us see and run the this particular example here, tutorial 4a. Look at this file is already exist because this file is there in data.txt. So if I'm deleting it, okay, or I'm giving some another name, so in that case it will create that one. Now file is no more, it is not available here. So now it's giving me, it's supposed to give me the file is okay data txt. I have just delete data txt. Okay, I'm running this file, so it's saying why it's saying file is already exist. I think Okay, it's automatically created because the reference is there. Unless and until if I'm not closing that, it won't give that. So I have to close a file after creating. Okay, every time. So if it is already exist, you how to close, otherwise it will. So there is an option called as a close here. So whatever the file you are creating, you are allowed to close that file there. So the file contents are not there. Let me check. And instead of writing a file name, I'm going to write a small file, because it's not a name, it is a file. Okay, and I'm choosing a file existing or not here. So now I want to check the length of the file. So if you say 16.out.printing, okay, so here I'm writing a length of file here equal to, and then I'm using the file dot. There is a property called as a get length. Okay, so I have to check the property and I can find out the length. I can find out the total number of characters, that is called as a length here. So I don't have means the file contents are not there, so it's going to show zero. Length of file is zero. Now I'm entering the some data inside my data txt. So I'm entering 3 characters. So each character is taking 1 byte. So I'm saving it, and now look at that. So it's going to show the length is 3 bytes here. So if you see, there are 3 bytes. So you know, the length of the file is depends upon how many characters are stored inside the file. Okay, all these are properties are there. You are allowed to use this property. So let us talk about the content where I'm going to write some content inside the file. So now the contents are empty. So data.txt is exist, but it don't have any content. So if you see, there is another method that is write to file, and for that you have to use a object called as a file writer here. So remember, there are two object we are talking about in our example here. So if you see uh, this, so there is some object who are responsible for writing this data into this. So I need a object here who are responsible for writing the contents. Okay, and that object name is file writer here. Okay, so I need to create a file writer object. So there must be a file writer class, and that file writer class will create the object and who are responsible for writing the contents here. So this is a file writer object which I'm showing here. Oh, okay, so that file writer object is writing the contents of output stream into the file here. Similarly, there is a file reader object who are responsible for uh, reading the file here. Okay, so when the reading is taking place, then the file reader objects are there. So there are two classes, file writer and file reader. So whenever you are going to read the contents, you are going to choose that. So let us move and directly apply here in this action perform. So I want to save the contents. For so when I'm clicking on button save, so it's going to save the content inside the file called as a data CSV. So I'm creating comma separated variable. So file is not yet created, so I'm just deleting it, and let us use this action here and see what happened when we are reading and writing the file. So the file reading, file writing I'm doing here. So saving the content inside the file. Okay, saving the content inside a file. Okay, and that is called as a the file writer. Okay. So I need, if so, you know, there is a e and get source, and, there is a button save is one of the source, and you required another source and choosing equal to equal to. Okay, and you require another source here, and that is button read here. So whenever I click on button read at that time, it's going to choose this, and whenever I choose a button exit, so it's going to use uh, uh, come out from the entire program. Okay, and so this is button exit, and for that there is a 16.exit function, and you are putting a 0 inside it. So whenever you run this particular program and you want to exit from the program by clicking on exit button, so you automatically come out from that program. Now I'm writing saving the content inside the file, that is file writer. So I need a file writer object. Before that, I just want to collecting the data from input objects, and I'm collecting those data, and everything I'm taking as a string, because I know there is a txt name dot the get text, okay, which is written data type is string. Even though I know the roll number is the uh, is an integer, but the data which we are collecting is a string kind. So it's our wish that everything we are treated taking as a string, because we want to store in a simple text file. Or you can do and do a parsing integer and the float and any kind of auto parsing you can do by using integer dot parse, float dot parse, okay, or double dot parse here. So name, roll number, and a percentage equal to txt per dot get text. Okay, and I want a roll number first, then name, and then percentage. So roll number, name, age, and then percentage. So these four data I'm taking here. So next is the age equal to txt age dot get text. Okay. So all four of inputs I'm storing inside the variable roll number, name, age, and percentage. I just want to form a record, so I'm choosing a string a record here. Okay, and in that record, I'm seeing a file record here. So whatever the record I'm using, I'm going to put inside this. So the first I'm choosing a roll number, then plus, and putting a comma because I'm creating CSV file. So roll number is there, and then name, then again putting a comma, then next is age, then again putting a comma here, and then the percentage. Okay, and again this time this is not a comma because I need a slash in here, and that is a new line escape sequence where whatever the new data is there, it's going to uh, put that data in a file, a new line here. So roll number, name, age, and percentage are actually stored inside the as a file record here. And so whatever the record we are taking, and when I click on button save, so it's going to give the information. Okay, and now I want to write this, so I need a file writer here. So I'm creating a file writer object, and here I'm supposed to choose a file writer, and I'm supposed to write my file name, and that is data CSV because it is a comma separated value file. Okay, and so when you are creating a file writer, so it's saying that you write a try and catch because your file may be exist or may not be exist. So it's using all the options, necessary options along with the file writer, and they are saying IO exception. Okay, and you can write this body about the file error kind of what the body. If the error is occurred, then you can print this. Instead of printing the through system out, I am going to use option panel, and there is a show dialog box. there is a show confirm message dialog. So I'm choosing show message dialog box here, and this and some message in the file here. If the file, if some uh, hmm, exception is occurred or throw, then showing a file error. Otherwise, it will write the data inside it. So how I'm going to do? I already created IO exception here. Then I'm choosing fw dot right here. Okay, and stream. If you look at that, the parameter which they are talking about, you are going to see the parameter. It is a string kind, or you can give array of characters. Okay, even you can send the string, and you can set the offset and the length of the character here. So you can set offset from 0 to any number, and from there you can retrieve some characters length here. Okay, so if I'm writing my data is suppose part, okay, and my string is suppose part here. Okay, and this is my part string, and I'm saying my offset is 1, and I want 3 character. So in that case, the output is alt here. Okay. Because I'm saying that from this string, the offset is this is a 0 offset, and this is 1. So from one offset you want 3 characters, 1 2 3. So output is what? The art here. Okay, you will get output as an art, but we don't want to use this. We are going to store the string called as a file record here. Okay. Hmm. So n number of overloaded functions are there. So let us run and check how we are writing this one. Okay. So I'm writing a roll number 1 here, and the name AAA, and the age 23, and some percentage 89.56. And when I click on save, the data is it's actually giving me some message that file successfully write kind of. But let me check. There is a data CSV file created, and this data is get stored. One AAA 23 89.56 is get stored inside my file called as a data CSV. So you can write to those files, and it is in the form of CSV file. So comma separated value file here. Okay. What if I want to put a second record? What happened in that case? So I keep on creating the record which is saving with the some message here. So once I write this, so every time J option pan will show me a message dialog box that file successfully write file record is successfully added. Okay. So that message I will get here, and I want to clear my entire contents once it get added. So I'm going to write one function, and that function is nothing but I'm writing here public and clear content is the name of function. So I'm choosing void and say clear content. And in that clear content function, I'm just using my all the content, and this must belongs to this class, and that is under my frame. I'm supposed to write this under my frame. Okay, so the clear content will clear the contents of my file. Okay, and why? Okay, so wrong expression. Checking. Okay, so I'm just using this the txt name dot text set text. Okay, and I'm just putting the clear content here. What happened here? Public file clear content. I think the class definition is not completed. Okay. So my get source Yeah, it is correct. And this is my action perform. Oh, I don't want to write inside the action perform. Okay, it is a part of class, but not a part of so public clear text. Okay, and the void is unauthority, and I'm writing a body. So I'm clearing the object. The first is txt name dot say text and clearing this, and there is a txt roll number. Then set text. So everything is get empty and txt age set text and then txt percentage set text, and so I'm just calling a clear text here. So whenever the file record is get saved, I'm going to clear that text. Okay, and after that, I'm calling a clear text function directly from here. Okay, so if you see, this function is getting called and it's clearing the entire content. Okay, now look at this. What happened here? So I'm writing a second record here too, and BBB and age 34, and the percentage is 67.53. Okay, dot 53 here. Okay, and I'm saving it, so it's giving me a record is successfully added, and the contents is also what vanish. Okay, once it's get added. So what if I want to check my file here? So I'm clicking, and I'm losing my data. So I don't want to lose my previous data because the new data is get replaced here with this. So there is something called as an append here. Okay, so append will keep your data, previous data, and it will not overwrite the data. So there is a file writer class, and if you click on Java down, so it will take you to the file writer class here. And if you see, there are n number of what the file writer constructor. Okay, so this is a file writer with a single file name which we are using here. Okay, but I'm talking about the second constructor where it's saying append, and it's a return data type is a boolean. So I'm saying true here, then that means I want appended mode here. So I simply put a true here, so it will save my previous record here. Okay, so I'm just running it and start from the beginning because I already delete all the records. So 1 and 34.56, 8 is sorry 34 and 56.78 are the percentage, and I'm clicking on saving. So the first record is added. Second is BBB and age is 22 and 45.65 is a second record. And when I click on save, so saying record added successfully. When I click on exit and want to see my data CSV, so it's going to show all the file. Okay, so this is my file one AAA BPP, and I can create n number of what store n number of record, but uh, I want to display those record inside my another object called as a output.txt. Okay, which is there in the bottom here. If you look at that, I want to display this output here at the bottom. Okay, so I can generate a record for my output. So I'm choosing a string builder instead of what using a string here. So if I'm choosing not string builder, I'm choosing a string here and simple record. And here I'm using the name roll number equal to with message equal to then plus. I'm going to add a roll number here. Okay, and the roll number. And after that, I'm using slash n and again adding it. The next is name equal to. choosing plus name here, object, and then slashing. And third is another message, that is age equal to, and plus age, that is a variable name, and then slashing. So slashing is a new line expect sequence, and then the last part is a percentage, and using the percentage equal to, and then percentage object, the percentage variable name. So this is my record, and I directly show that record here. So there is a out uh, put dot, there is a set text, and every time the whatever the record is get added, that will display here. Okay, so let us run this, and that is record number 4 I'm going to add here. So if you look at the record number 4, and that is DDD, and age is 21, and percentage is 99.99, and when I'm saving it, so record is get added here in output window, and as well as it is added in my file. So it is for my reference. So all records, the current record I am going to display here. Okay, so whenever I click on the files here, so data CSV file, the fourth record is get added here. I'm losing my third, or I have not yet added third record. So let me check and add third record again. So I think I have not added third record. So I'm just running this file again, and adding third record, and CCC, and age is 24, and 99.99, and I'm saving it. So if you see, the record is get added here. Okay, and it's leaving some okay file. Actually I have to put my file cursor here only, because it's going to add from the cursor position, so that's why it's leaving one space here. So this is my reading part, and the last part, not reading, it's saving. The last part is a reading part here. So you are going to create the object called as a file read. Okay, and fr equal to new file read, and you are supposed to call the data dot CSV file. Okay, so this is your data CSV file, and you are going to read the file here. Okay, and so I have to check the file read option here, and it's required to show the file read part here. So I'm just showing the file read part here, and if you see, there is uh, a file read is actually taking place through the file, and there is a data read. You are giving the file to the data read part. So data read, you are using a scanner objective. So if you see, there is no class available such as file read, but you can take the file as an input here. So I'm choosing for a reading file here, and I'm choosing this as a new file, equal to new file, and I'm writing the name of what the file is, data CSV here. Okay, and you can read this file, so I'm just copying the whole part here, and that scanner data reader will read the part, and you can choose the try and catch, uh, unless it will reach at what. So there is a time mm, mm, concern, and that is the reason I'm just showing directly here. So if you see, it's showing the data reader here, and you are going to read next line by file data, and every time you are choosing a slash in here. So file read as reading the file line by line, the same file which you are going to read, and after reading line by line, it's going to put the slashing, and every line will store inside the file data, and that file data I'm going to add in my string builder. So SB is my string builder. So if you look at that, so there is a string builder object who are building the string, one after another. So all lines are resides in a string builder object, and that string builder object I am showing in output here, and it will convert it into a string. So look at this file. Okay, so here I am running this, and I'm simply write a read file. So it's going to place those three data here, and you can see all the record. So whatever the fourth record I'm writing here, DDD and third 45 each, and the 45.5667% and I'm saving it. Okay, and when I'm reading again, so it's going to actually giving these record, previous record as well as the new record here. So I don't want the previous record. So every time I have to clear my output text before reading. So I'm choosing there is a functionality called as out.text clear. So you are going to set output.set text clear before reading here. So what will happen? So it's going to clear the previous output and it will read the new one here. Okay, so every time when the new record is get added here, so that will inside the file and you are reading those files. So this is all about the saving, and if I'm clicking on save here, so my empty record is also get added here. So if you look at that, and if you see there is a empty record is get added, which you don't want to do that. So in that case, you have to take care of what this if part here. And if you are saying if txt get text is empty, txt name text get is empty, then you are passing this message. Your uh, data must not be Winport box not be empty. It won't allow you to use this. So I'm just copying it and modifying my tutorial number 4 here, and instead of writing this content, okay, I'm using the file writer part here. So if you look at this writing part where I'm selecting all the saving button save option here. So I'm just copying everything from here. Okay, and replacing this entire body with a new body here. So if you see there is a clear content which is a part of the data here. So I would like to uh, choose a clear content somewhere here, and I want to delete this IO exception part here, and want to choose a clear content is a small. Okay, what is the name of my file here? It is clear text, not clear content. So I'm choosing instead of clear content, I'm choosing clear text. Okay, and I don't want the finally part, or if you want to use a finally part, so your position of uh, this is like this. Okay, and so it's showing I'm closing a file here, but I already closed the part here, so I don't want to use this specific part here. So now look at uh, the tutorial number 4 here. Now, whenever I try to put empty part, so it's saying input should not be empty, okay, and it will not show the, so it will not added the data in your data CSV file, okay, so it's only added the previous one, so it won't allow me to add a data here, okay, unless and until if I'm not okay entering the data here. So it's showing this that part also I will take care. So here I'm using if is empty part. So that is all about the file reading and writing. So in next class I'm going to explain database connectivity, and it will take 2 days, so your entire class will finish at Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to explain database connectivity with JDBC and how the information is get stored inside your uh, database called as a MySQL. Okay, and so I'm stopping here. So we'll meet you on Monday with a database connectivity and different way of storing the data in a respect to database. We are going to understand JDBC in next class. Thank you.